Okie dokie, everyone. Okay, so today I went to the cafe that I went to on Saturday to try and make some more observations. And so the full context of when I was there was, it is a Monday. It's raining outside pretty steadily. It's kind of gray and a little cold. It's also September, so it's fall. And it was around 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m. when I got there. And then when I left, it was around just after 3 o'clock. So some quick conclusions that I found while I was there is that it's during the school year. So that will affect when people are certain places, because you have parents who have children who are in and out of school at certain times. And of course, you have parents who are at work, but their hours may vary because they have to go pick up their children. And so during the summer, maybe you can work until 4 or 5, but in the fall and through back to, July is when they get out of school, I think, or June, then you need to potentially get off. One of the parents or whoever's picking up the child needs to get off work to grab the child. And so, of course, you will only see parents who are coming to the bookstore with their children that they've picked up, obviously. But from that, you can conclude, okay, the parent picks up the child, which parent has picked up the child. And so you can see, okay, the child obviously doesn't take a bus, or it's a little bit of an odd circumstance because tomorrow is a statutory holiday, and so perhaps ordinarily the child takes the bus to and from school, but today the parent decided, I'm going to get off work early to pick up my child so that we can go to the bookstore together because tomorrow's a holiday. And so it seems like a fine thing to do. And so it was raining, so most people drove, but I did notice that traffic within the bookstore cafe was almost zero between 2 and 3. And then around at 3 o'clock when I was getting ready to leave, ironically, because it was so empty and so I felt awkward because all I was doing was sitting in there observing people. And so I was getting ready to leave and this flood of people came in and I got a little bit of good observation in, but I was trying to take into account the fact that it was so empty in there. And I mean, the fact that it's a bookstore cafe and it was empty on a Monday during working hours is sort of self-conclusive, but it also means that in the future, if I go to a place that I know to be populated, and I observe a lack of very many people coming and going, I can likely conclude that these are the standard working hours wherever I am. And if for all of a sudden at a certain time a flood of children shows up, I can conclude that school is in session and school has just gotten out recently. And if there are no parents present, then likely the school is nearby. So if perhaps a person was to be at the pool at, let's say, like during the middle of the day on a work day, likely it would also be quite empty. But between 3 and 4, it would probably also start to fill up, first with teenagers and maybe parents with their kids. Same with the library. You might get university students starting to show up who are finishing off their last class of the day. Maybe a few people coming from work and stopping in at the pool on the way home. So you might be able to kind of track what time, more or less almost track the time of day based off of who's showing up where you are. But one obvious thing that I observed while I was there is at 2:55, father and son showed up. The father was with the son, meaning that he had picked the son up from school because it wasn't far enough from time getting out of school to have had the mother pick him up, and then he went home, and then the father came home from work and then grabbed him. Likely that would have been closer to 4 o'clock. So the fact that it was before 3 o'clock means he went likely and grabbed the kid from school. There was no mother present, so of course there's a number of things. She could have been at work still. She could have been at home taking care of herself. She also could be not in the picture, and the father has taken his time is maybe on the weekends, but he's asked for having time with the son on the statutory holiday. And so the agreement was like, of course you can, but you need to be the one to pick him up from school. And so you're going to have to get off work a little early to get him from school so that you can go and have this time with him, this weekend with him. So these were just some casual observations about how school seems to affect the ebb and flow of people, and largely parents with their children, through third spaces such as this cafe bookstore that I was looking at, and possibly also how the weather, like the heavy rain, can negatively affect people wanting to come out. Now, ironically, my partner is once again coming home, so thank you for watching.